Welcome, my loves. It's Knowledge Butterfly, as always, sending you guys out peace, blessings, love, and abundance. So this video is actually, this audio is really been a tad bit frustrating for me. I actually want to make sure that it's not a delay. It appears to be okay. So I'm going to go ahead with the video. And share with you guys some information on, because reading up on the coronavirus, and it's talking about respiratory issues in the immune system. So I just want to give you a little bit of information on your respiratory system, on your immune system. Again, all of this is dealing with your endocrine system, your endocrine glands. And so I just want to talk about that a little, but my main focus is actually to give you information on the benefits of Reiki and how Reiki can help with those things, and also talk about some different herbs you can utilize just from my own personal experience, because when I tell you my immune system is amazing, it is absolutely amazing. And this is no joke. Like my niece and nephew and everybody was like, your immune system is serious, you know what I'm saying? But that's because in dealing with my emotions and other things, I have been working on my immune system. I've been working on that for a while. Okay, so it's definitely not something new. I'm not trying to, just because of this quote unquote virus, I'm not trying to just now start to think about those things. Okay, so anywho, let's go ahead and get into your respiratory system. So I just want to show you what your respiratory system looks like, because the people that are experiencing the most issues, they have respiratory issues, which is issues with your breathing, your lungs. So they may be suffering from asthma, bronchitis, which is dealing with the bronchi. And they actually show you how the bronchi, which looks like a branch, which looks like a tree, all this, the trachea, all this, the lungs, all this looks like a tree. And when you think about trees, you think about the air that we breathe and that we are exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide. We're giving off carbon dioxide, and the plants and the trees give off oxygen. We're thinking about that cycle and how we are exchanging this energy in order to replenish each other's cells, and how we work harmoniously. So that symbol of your lungs and your bronchi and your trachea, it kind of is a kind of reminder of that, how the symbiosis between the two. All right. So we're just going to talk quickly about the respiratory system. It supplies oxygen to cells. It removes carbon dioxide waste from the body. Air comes in through the nose and goes through the larynx and the throat, down through the trachea, and into the lungs through the bronchi. The bronchioles then transfer oxygen to red blood cells for circulation. Red blood cells are very important, because red blood cells are the cells that are transported to your liver, your kidneys, your heart, all of the organs of your body, your brain, and is actually what's keeping your body flowing properly. So when you have issues with the blood in your body, whether it's too thin or it's too thick, then it causes other issues in your body. All right. So the respiratory system is a very important when it comes to your breathing and your pranic energy, your prana. And we know that the prana energy, which flows throughout the body, and Dr. Illinois Bay, if you want more information on that, you can tune in to him. He does a great job of explaining prana. But definitely it's a certain way that we breathe. If you breathe too fast like a dog, how dogs breathe really fast and they breathe through their mouth, you're actually losing a lot of pranic energy. And the pranic energy is supposed to flow properly in order for you to reach different levels of consciousness. All right. So you can actually get into alpha state, you can get into delta state, you can get into these trance states, which helps you connect with your subconscious mind. So if you cannot breathe properly, you are unable to actually have a better conscious connection with your subconscious mind. All right. Also, with not being able to breathe properly, it could cause for dizziness, and that's why people also pass out as well. from the illness. And also the respiratory system deals with anxiety. So you have people who are anxious and stressed and things of that nature, and that's how stress can impact your respiratory system, because it can cause for you to have bouts of anxiety or panic attacks. Okay, so all of this dealing with the coronavirus, and I'm not even reading this right now, I'm just speaking off my heart, from my heart. But all this dealing with the coronavirus and dealing with stress, this is how stress can actually impact your respiratory system. And if you're already dealing, like I said, with underlying conditions like asthma and bronchitis and things of that nature, then you that person would be more prone to having issues with your respiratory, since you already have issues with your respiratory system, may be more prone to contracting what they call the coronavirus. All right. And then I already talked about the endocrine system in my previous video, but what I wanted to touch on was the fact that you see where your adrenal glands are, which is above your kidneys. Your kidneys is the part of your body where fear is stored. All right. So when we are dealing with fearful situations, the body creates a hormone called cortisol. And cortisol is a great chemical when we need to increase our energy levels, because let's say that your child got trapped under something. And so you get in this state of wanting to save your child. So your body, and it's a stressful situation, so your body increases more cortisol in order to boost your energy, and actually can help boost your strength as well. And you could actually lift something heavy that may have fallen on your child and save your child's life. However, when you're in a constant state of panic, you're in a constant state of stress, you're in a constant state of fear, your body's over creating this cortisol. And when it's doing that, is actually depleting your kidneys. And your kidneys, we're going to talk about how your kidneys are actually your inheritance. You get a certain amount of life force energy from your parents when you're coming to this existence. And so if you're in a constant state of panic, you're constantly decreasing your life force energy. All right. And your life force energy is what helps bring a certain amount of not only energy, but also life. Literally, it brings life and light to your body. All right. And it brings it to your sexual organs, to your liver. The kidney is responsible for dispersing out energy, or energy where that energy or blood is needed. And when I say energy, I'm actually speaking of blood in this instance, but dispersing out the red blood where it needs to go in order to help other organs function properly, like your liver and your heart, your pancreas, your stomach, your brain, your sexual organs, and all those things. The kidney is responsible for doing all those things. And if it's being overworked, it's being depleted of its own energy, because it's giving away its own blood and get away its own energy in order to balance other parts of the body. So when you're in a constant state of stress, then it's actually impacting your kidneys. And so we want to talk about how negative emotions actually impact your immune system, and how it impacts your kidneys, and how and some solutions to combating those things. Okay, so brain activity linking negative emotions to a lower immune response. So it lowers your immune system against disease, and it has been revealed for the first time, claims researchers. They claim this was revealed for the first time. We know there is no such thing, but this article was back in 2003 in New Scientist. On the site newscientist.com, they did an article. So many previous studies have shown that emotions and stress can adversely affect the immune system. So let's go ahead and get into, hold on, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the kidneys, and then we'll get into the immune system. So not only does the stress affect your respiratory system, it affects your kidneys, and it affects your immune system. All right, so now let's get into the kidneys, because I really want to make sure that I touch on this part. So not only, it says, how can stress impact my health and kidneys? And this is coming from kidney.org. Not only does your body's reaction to stress help you with immediate dangers of crisis, crises, it can also serve as a positive motivator while handling life's challenges when channeled properly. However, when your body is under high levels of stress for sustained periods of time, these physical reactions, if left unchecked, can eventually harm your health. The combined impacts of increased blood pressure, faster heart rate, and higher fats and sugar in your blood can contribute to a number of health problems, including high blood pressure, disease, diabetes, and heart disease, also known as cardiovascular disease. And I talked about in my last video how the kidney and the heart are connected based upon the traditional Chinese medicine, okay, and how they intertwine and they work together. So stress and uncontrolled reactions to stress can also lead to kidney damage, as the blood filtering units of your body, your kidneys, are prone to problems with blood circulation and blood vessels. High blood pressure and high blood sugar can place an additional strain or burden on your kidneys, okay? Why do you think people have to get on dialysis when they're diabetic and it's gone so far? You know what I'm saying? They have to be on dialysis, which is literally trying to help your kidneys clean itself out. Now, people with high blood pressure and diabetes are at higher risk for kidney disease, all right? So people dealing with high blood pressure and diabetes also are going to be at risk to contract other things. So it's very important that you focus on not allowing fear, because fear is stored in your kidneys, not allowing fear to take hold of you, to participate in a quote unquote pandemic. So people with kidney disease, I already talked about that. Or maybe I did. No, people with kidney disease are at higher risk for heart and blood vessel disease. If you already have heart and blood vessel disease and kidney disease, then the body's reactions to stress can become more and more dangerous. Therefore, whether your goal is to prevent heart or kidney disease or improve your health while living with heart and or kidney disease, managing stress is an important part of maintaining your overall health. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because I had come to the realization really that this was important information. I was talking to my nephew yesterday, and I was talking about how people are not focused on building up their immune systems and their respiratory systems, and also dealing with their kidneys. Those are three very important systems that you want to deal with, that you want to focus on keeping balance, because your kidneys and your heart work hand in hand, and your respiratory system is also very important, because of course it's important for your breathing, and people are putting on these masks trying to protect things from coming in, but what's really going on already in these areas in your body because of the emotions that you're feeling, fear and stress, anxiety, and all these things, okay? So now let's go ahead and talk about where I was talking about the chi energy really quick. So your kidney and your bladder are connected. They're considered to be partners, all right? So according to traditional Chinese medicine, I love dealing with traditional Chinese medicine because it deals with the spiritual nature of the organs, okay? So the kidney is the powerhouse of the body, supplying reserve energy to any organ running low on qi or chi. Its partner organ is the bladder, and the season actually associated with the kidney is the winter season. So it's very important for you to understand that the coronavirus actually, quote unquote, became an issue during the winter season, during the kidney season, okay? And so they started a campaign of fear during the winter season, which is dealing with your kidneys, and fear is stored in your kidneys. On top of that, kidneys are actually associated with the element water, and I talked about that in my previous video. You can watch that one before this one. And the water is dealing with your emotions, yes, but with us dealing with water, we're also dealing with Pisces. So the epidemic really started to, or the pandemic really started to rise with the fear during the Pisces season. So you start seeing the correlation with how they're utilizing the seasons, the zodiac signs, to get the effect that they want to get from people. Okay, so that's why it's very, very important for you to, like this says, so it's especially important to slow down and conserve energy by getting more rest. It's important for you just to slow down, to go inward, and to really deal with your emotions. Slow your breathing down. That helps with the respiratory issues, breathing in and out. And then also slowing down so that you can really do pulse checks and check your body and know what's really going on with yourself. This is time for inner awareness and inner health, inner wealth. All right. All this whole quarantine and being closed in, this is the time to really deal with your inner self. Your inner self, meaning your emotions, meaning your thoughts, meaning, you know, how does your body feel? You know, what is it trying to tell you? Because any type of sickness is really just your body letting you know that there is something that's imbalanced. Okay. The kidney stores reserve energy called prenatal ki or chi energy, which is inherited from your parents. Now, when another organ is low on energy, the kidney sends it extra chi boost from its inheritance. So here the kidney is giving away energy to other organs when those organs are depleted, therefore depleting itself if we are not getting out of that state of constant panic and stress. So it's very important that we learn how to center ourselves and bring ourselves to the calm waters that the kidneys represent, the calming waters. All right. Calm your waters down, loves. Okay. It has other information talking about the ears, but the bones and the taste and salt and how all that ties to your kidneys. However, the other point that I want to reiterate is fear is the emotion associated with the kidney. If you often have severe panic attacks, anxiety, and fear, your body may be trying to tell you that kidney energy is running low or is imbalanced. So it's very important for you to learn how to face your fears. You have to question whether that fear is a valid fear. Okay, if you think that it's a valid fear, then you need to find solutions so that you can, or put plans in place in order for you to quell those fears. So if you have a fear that, you know, you could possibly get sick from this or catch this, you need to start doing a pulse check to see, are you dealing with any respiratory issues? Are you dealing with any immune system issues? Do you get sick often? Are you dealing with lower back pain, which signals kidney problems? Are you dealing with anything that makes you feel like low energy? You're dealing with kidney imbalances. If you have a low sex drive, you're most likely dealing with kidney imbalances. And I'm going to say 99.9% of the time, because your kidneys is where your inheritance is where that life force energy dwells that you receive from your parents. So as you continue to deplete that energy, then you are going to deal with a low sex drive. And I talked about in my previous video how it's very important that you keep a healthy sex drive, because this is about raising your kundalini energy as well. Okay. So this article was done by Reiki.org. It's called Healing Research, and this is about the benefits of Reiki. So I want to talk to you guys about that really quickly, or however long it takes. This is dealing with the part of my purpose that deals with healing, and it's healing through crystals, it's healing through Reiki, and I'm also getting into healing with magnets. I had already had this hematite magnet I had got a while ago, back in probably 2018, and so dealing with healing holistically, of course, also with your mental. So you're dealing with your subconscious mind, your emotions, and utilizing different modalities to get to that point. Reiki being one of the biggest things that I use. So being the Holistic Energy Alchemist is dealing with my healing modalities and my sole purpose in that. My other persona, Knowledge Butterfly, is dealing with decoding information, being the master decoder, and being able to get to the deepness, the darkest crevices of anything that's occult information or hidden information. My goal as Knowledge Butterfly is to give you information as it is given to me, and as it resonates with me, I just share it with you. And if it resonates with you, I love it. If it doesn't, then, you know, just let it go out your ear. Let it, you know, don't even let that seed implant, you know what I'm saying? Just say, you know what, it's not for me. But you always want to go into anything being open, and then seeing if you feel like this is something that resonates with your energy. So anywho, let's get into the scientific studies. Scientific research in the area of laying on of hands. And whenever I think of laying on of hands, I think in the Bible when they talked about Christ laying on of the hands. So that makes me think of utilizing life force energy or Reiki energy in order to heal people. Okay, so laying on of hands has been conducted for some time. There are now quite a few experiments that validate the usefulness of Reiki and other healing techniques. Some of the more interesting results of these experiments demonstrate that their positive results are coming from more than just the placebo effect, while others indicate that the energy is non-physical in nature, and that the benefits do not diminish regardless of the distance between sender and receiver. So it doesn't matter if you're not in the same room, if you're not in the same city, if you're not in the same state, if you're not in the same country, you can still send Reiki healing energy or life force energy to another individual. It does not matter the distance, all right? Because it's a non-physical modality. It's dealing with the energy that is all around us, the unseen, all right? Now, the following are a few of the more interesting studies. So the first Reiki study was published in a peer-reviewed scientific journal. The study involved 45 healthy people who were divided into 3 groups of 15, okay? One group received Reiki and rest. Another group received the placebo, Reiki and rest. The placebo treatment was given exactly the same way as the Reiki treatments were given in the first group, except that those who gave them had not had Reiki training. So in the second group, the people that gave Reiki, they were not certified. They did not have the training, okay? And then the third group received only the rest. They didn't even receive real Reiki nor faux Reiki, okay? They only got rest. Okay, so the study recorded a number of vital statistics, including heart rate, systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure, skin temperature, and respiration rate at regular intervals. Okay, this study revealed a significant reduction in diastolic blood pressure and heart rate in the Reiki group that didn't appear in the placebo group or the control group, thus tending to indicate that Reiki created an important effect that was not caused by suggestion. This was a small study, but the quality of its design and the positive results it produced indicates the additional larger scale studies are warranted. Again, this was 45 people broken up into 3 groups of 15. Another Reiki study done at the Health Got Research Institute of the National College of Naturopathic Medicine in Portland, Oregon showed that Reiki has a measurable effect on the immune system. So remember earlier, I told you there are 3 things that are impacting this quote unquote coronavirus, and that is your respiratory system, so your breathing, your pranic energy. There is your immune system, which is your defenses, and your immune system actually deals with the thymus gland, which in the endocrine system, it sits right in front of your heart. So that's dealing with your immune system. That's creating white blood cells, which are your super soldiers. Those are the ones that go to battle and fight off disease and fight off, you know, any attacks on the body. Okay, so this right here is saying that it has been shown that Reiki has a measurable effect on the immune system. They can measure the impact or the effect. This study examined the effect of Reiki on the white blood cell counts of volunteers who were randomized into 3 groups: those who received Reiki, those who relaxed, and those who never received Reiki or relaxation. Okay, blood was drawn for examination before the treatment, immediately after treatment, and 4 hours after treatment. The study shows that Reiki enhanced the immune system by increasing the number of white blood cells in those who received Reiki. Because this was a small preliminary study, the results provide the basis for further study of the ability of Reiki to make healthy improvements in those that receive it. Again, this is going from Western medicine, so they're never going to really want to credit it fully with anything, because they want people to still get caught up in the whole prescription thing, which is what they're trying to do now with this whole let's create a vaccine, and so let's give the pharmaceutical companies money, and let's give money to the CDC and those who went into creating this, or whoever created this virus. Let's give money to them too for creating it, so they get paid for creating the virus, and they get money from supposedly creating a vaccine for the virus. So they're getting paid twice. All right. Now, Wendy Wetzel, a registered nurse, describes a Reiki experiment she conducted in her paper, Reiki Healing and a Physiologic Perspective. In her study, 48 people made up the experimental group, while 10 made up a control group. Both groups had blood samples taken at the beginning and at the end of the experiment. The experimental group received first-degree Reiki training. The control group was not involved in the Reiki training. The blood samples were measured for hemoglobin and hematocrit values. Hemoglobin is the part of the red blood cells that carry the oxygen, and now I can't get it out. Hematocrit is the ratio of red blood cells to total blood volume. The people in the experimental group who received Reiki training experienced a significant change in these values, with 28% experiencing an increase and the remainder experiencing a decrease. Okay, and we're going to talk about that. The people in the control group who did not receive Reiki training experienced no significant change. It is thought that the changes, whether an increase or decrease, are consistent with the purpose of Reiki, which is to bring balance on an individual basis. And that's exactly what I wanted to talk about. The 28% that received the increase, and the remaining people that received the decrease, it was based upon what was going on with their body. So when you receive Reiki, it may seem like your body's decreasing because it's purging things out of your body, but that is not a negative thing. That is actually a good thing. It's causing these things to come to the surface so that your body starts to balance itself out. It is a catalyst that you can utilize along with other things, and I'm going to tell you these other things in order to bring a proper balance to your body, okay? One individual experienced a 20% increase in these values. She continued to treat herself with Reiki daily, and after 3 months, her increase had been maintained and in fact had continued to improve. This improvement was appropriate for her as she had been experiencing iron deficiency or anemia. All right. Anemic people have low iron counts. So the Reiki actually helped her balance her iron counts. All right. Another study in laying on hands has also demonstrated its ability to increase hemoglobin values. A medical doctor, Otilia Bingston, MD, conducted an experiment with a group of 79 sick patients. Together, the patients had a wide range of diagnosed illnesses, including pancreatitis, brain tumor, emphysema, multiple endocrine disorders, rheumatoid arthritis, and congestive heart failure. Laying on hand treatments were given to 46 patients, with 33 as controls. The treated patients showed significant increases in hemoglobin values. The effect was so pronounced that even cancer patients who were being treated with bone marrow suppressive agents, which predictably induced decreases in hemoglobin values, showed an increase. The majority of patients also reported improvement or complete disappearance of symptoms. Both this experiment and the one above demonstrate that healers are able to induce actual biological improvements in the patients they treat, rather than simply create a feeling of well-being. All right. Laying on hands healing has been validated by experiments carried out at St. Vincent's Medical Center in New York. The study was carried out by Janet Quinn, Assistant Director of Nursing at the University of South Carolina. The design of this study tends to rule out the placebo effect. 30 heart patients were given a 20 question psychological tests to determine their level of anxiety. Then they were treated by a group trained in therapeutic touch healing. A group of patients were also treated by sham healers who imitated the same positions as those who had training. Anxiety levels dropped 17% after only 5 minutes treatment by trained practitioners. Okay, but those who were only imitating a treatment created no effect. So the ones who were actually trained in Reiki, it took 17% of them, their anxiety levels dropped in 5 minutes. Only 5 minutes. That's a big deal. Okay. And what else? It was something else I wanted to talk about really quickly from here. Dr. John Zimmer of the University of Colorado, using a squid, which is a superconducting quantum interference device, has discovered that magnetic fields several hundred times stronger. I'm going to highlight this. Magnetic fields several hundred times stronger than background noise are created around the hands of trained healers when doing healing work on patients. Several hundred times stronger than background noise are created around the hands of the trained healers when doing healing work on patients. No such fields are created by sham healers making the same movements, indicating something special is happening with the trained healers. The frequencies of the magnetic fields surrounding the hands of the trained healers were of the alpha and theta wave range, similar to those seen in the brains of meditators. All right, so they're showing you the power in Reiki. It even talks about how people have utilized Reiki, which is a psychic healing, to supercharge water, and they put it on plants, and they saw an increase in the plant's growth. All right, amongst other things. So all in all, this is just showing that Reiki is something that is real. It's something that's been scientifically measured and proven for those who feel like they can only trust and believe in something if it is something that's been backed up by quote unquote modern science or modern medicine. Okay, now we're going to get into some other things you can do besides Reiki, or you can do alongside Reiki to treat yourself. So since we're talking about boosting the immune system, this article is on Dr. Axe's site, and it talks, the title is Use Antiviral Herbs to Boost Immune System and Fight Infection. So I'm going to tell you some herbs just from this site. I will say that, of course, I'm not a trained physician in Western medicine. However, I am someone who is very passionate in studying herbology and being an herbalist, and also someone who deals with a holistic aspect of the human makeup, and not just our human makeup, our spiritual makeup. So I'm just going to give you some information, and you can utilize this information to better yourself. Remember that you are always going to be the sciences, you are the chemist, and you are the alchemist at the end of the day for your own self. So it is all about self-awareness and know thyself. All right. So let's see if I want to read any of this. This is just talking about, did you know that there are more than 400 different viruses that can cause infections? So while they're so focused on this coronavirus, which is dealing with your crown chakra and your pineal gland, dealing with your heart chakra, and dealing with your kundalini energy or root chakra, and trying to stagnate that, and they're trying to stagnate your root chakra through the kidneys. They're trying to stagnate your heart chakra through of course, your heart, and causing fear and panic. All right, and they're trying to stagnate your pineal gland, and your crown chakra. All three of those very important aspects of who you truly are. They're trying to stagnate that and block it so that you don't increase your level of knowledge and your enlightenment of self. All right. So they talk about the 400 viruses, including the common cold, the flu, hepatitis, and mononucleosis, and HIV. Today, many people choose to have an annual influenza vaccination or flu shot, but this is only 80% effective because of the mutating strands of influenza virus. I'm not an advocate for the flu virus. I've never had a flu virus. I feel that a flu vaccine, I should say. I feel that that's just not something for me. You know what I'm saying? I truly am a proponent of mind over matter. I'm a proponent of checking your emotions, and I'm a proponent of you can utilize natural herbs and remedies and find out what works best for your body. You be your own scientist, chemist, and alchemist, and you determine what works best for you. So that's why I'm going to deal with the parts of the article that is explaining different herbs and things that you can utilize. So what is a virus? A virus is a small infectious agent that can only replicate inside the living cells of other organisms. All right. Some people are viruses, okay, that can only replicate themselves inside the living cells of other organisms. All right. So they cannot create outside of something that's living. Now, viruses can infect all types of life forms: humans, animals, plants, and microorganisms, including bacteria and archaea. They're found in almost every ecosystem on Earth, and they're the most abundant type of biological entity. Viruses have actually been described as organisms at the edge of life because they carry genetic material, they reproduce, and they evolve through natural selection, but they lack cell structure, which is generally needed to be considered living. Okay. There are many ways that a virus spreads. In animals, a virus is carried by blood-sucking insects, like how they are trying to blame it on the bat, which I also posted on my Instagram page for Knowledge Butterfly about the Contagion movie, and how they showed that this movie was made in 2011, how they showed the virus begin from a bat. A bat lost his home because this company chopped down the trees. And what are they doing? They're chopping down trees in the Amazon. They're chopping down trees in the United States. They're chopping down trees all over the country, in Australia, all over the country. You know what I'm saying? And we're also having forest fires. But anywho's, all of this is happening, and they're showing that when the bats lose their home, they had to go somewhere else. And in turn, the bat actually wind up being in a pig farm or a pig stall, and then what the bat was chewing on, which was a piece of banana, dropped to the ground. The pig ate it. That same pig was slaughtered and went to a Chinese restaurant, and the chef started cleaning out the pig's mouth with his hand. He had to go meet somebody who wanted to meet the chef, one of his guests, and instead of washing his hands, he wipes his hands on his apron and he walks out. So this is spoiler alert. This is how it all started. He walks out and he shakes this woman's hands, and he didn't wash his hands, and so she became the first patient, or patient zero. So all of this 2011 movie, I talk a little bit about, just on my Instagram, I'm posting, just showing you guys that all of this was pre-written scripts that they had put in our subconscious mind to infect our subconscious mind in order for us to create the reality that they wanted to create. So they're trying to play out that movie right now in this physical reality. All right. So I just want to point that out because of, it says blood-sucking insects. But in this case, it's a blood-sucking animal. All right. So some viruses like influenza are spread by coughing and sneezing, which in that movie there was a lot of touching people, and a lot of people were coughing. It was a lot of coughing, and people were touching things from people who hadn't washed their hands, and so the virus was being transferred to others. All right, or transmitted to others. So viruses like viral enteritis, infectious diarrhea, are transmitted by the fecal oral route, which is a result of poor sanitation, and are passed from person to person by contact or enter the body through food and water. So again, going back to people not washing their hands. All right. And then the scary thing about contracting a virus is that antibiotics do not work. And shout out Brother Polite. He did a video talking about that, how antibiotics do not work in dealing with viruses. Okay. So we know that it affects our immune systems, and it also is going to impact other parts of your body as well. And but we're going to get on the immune system, and that's what this is about. This is about antiviral herbs that you can utilize. So antiviral herbs inhibit the development of viruses, so it keeps it from replicating itself. Many of the best antiviral herbs boost the immune system, which allows the body to attack viral pathogens. So when you're building up your immune system, when people are telling you you need to build up your immune system, is because you need to build up your army. You need to build up the power of your army so that they can actually go on the attack of these viral pathogens that are trying to come into and invade your body. All right. These foreigners that are trying to come in and invade your body. All right. So this is the microcosm to the macrocosm of what you see playing out right now in the world, where you have the United States going to war with foreign governments and foreign countries and invading these countries. All right. So the United States is actually the foreign party, but they call the other people foreign, but you're the ones that's going on and invading these countries. So really you're the foreigner. So this is literally like them going in and being foreigners and invading these countries. That's what this virus, you can relate this to, okay? Or any virus. Now, this can be even better than attacking specific pathogens, which antiviral drugs are designed to do, because pathogens mutate over time and become less susceptible to treatment. Again, in the movie Contagion, they kept talking about it, the strains mutated and it mutating. And then here we go on the news, they're talking about this is COVID-19, it mutated and used to be this lethal, or whatever the words they use. I don't really watch the news. I pretty much get my updates when I go on social media and things of that nature. However, again, the pathogens can mutate and become a different strain. So the antiviral drugs or vaccines that they come up with, they don't work anymore, because they are only designed for a specific cell structure. Everything has a structure, and the new pathogens, it mutates and becomes something different. It'll still have similar structure, but something will change in it and it'll become a different strain. So not only do antiviral herbs fight viral infections, boost the immune system, and work as flu natural remedies, but they have a number of health benefits, such as cardiovascular. We talked about the heart and the kidney connection, digestive and anti-inflammatory support, which is amazing. And getting into the it being a natural flu remedy, that's helping when we're dealing with the respiratory system. So you can see how the immune system and building it up is helping in a holistic way. It's not just only targeting one part of your body, because we realize that our body works collectively together. They have their own separate systems that do their functions, but all in all, at the end of the day, them doing their part is helping to maintain the rest of the body and the other systems and balance them out as well. So some top antiviral herbs is echinacea. A lot of people know about echinacea. It's one of those things that people have talked about many times, but I'll just give you a brief synopsis of echinacea. Echinacea is beneficial for immune support and overall health. There has been considerable evidence suggesting that phytochemicals in echinacea have the capacity to reduce virus infections and tumors. Echinacea is one of the most powerful natural antivirals against human viruses. It contains a compound called echinacin, or an echinacin, that inhibits bacteria and viruses from penetrating healthy cells. This greatly reduces the chances of contracting any type of infection while consuming echinacea. And then some more echinacea benefits include its ability to alleviate pain, reduce inflammation, improve skin problems, and treat upper respiratory issues and improve mental health. So the things that stood out to me is reducing the inflammation, the treating the respiratory issues, the improvement of mental health, and the building up of your immune system. That's 4 big hitters right there. Calendula, which is another one of my favorites. Calendula is flower petals of the calendula plant, which is sometimes called Pot's marigold, have been used for medicinal purposes since at least the 12th century, but it's been used for longer than that, okay? This antiviral herb has high amounts of flavonoids, which are plant-based antioxidants that protect cells from being damaged by free radicals. It also fights viruses, inflammation, and bacteria. The dried petals of the plant are used in tinctures, ointments, and washes to treat infections, burns, wounds, and cuts. And it also has been used in eardrops as well for children. What I will say is you can see how you can use those 2 things together, and you can make your own herbal tea. You can also use it to make smoothies. You can also cook with these things. You can cook with echinacea powder and put that, like if you make a soup or you make a sauce, you can cook with calendula, all right? But also you can make herbal teas. Garlic is another heavy hitter, and I actually used that when I made Sunday dinner. So experiments have shown that garlic or specific chemical compounds found in garlic is highly effective at killing countless microorganisms responsible for some of the most common and rarest infections, including tuberculosis, pneumonia, thrush, and herpes. Not only is it one of the best antiviral herbs for herpes, but its properties also help to treat eye infections, and it works as a natural ear infection remedy. Some more raw garlic benefits include its ability to reduce the risk of cancer, control hypertension or high blood pressure, boost cardiovascular health, and fight hair loss. To make a garlic oil infusion at home, it tells you how to do it. You can crush the garlic cloves and add them to whatever your carrier oil, whether that be coconut oil, olive oil, grapeseed oil, whatever your carrier oil is. You let the mixture sit for about 5 hours, and then you strain the bits of garlic. Keep the oil in a jar with a lid. This infusion can also be used as an antiviral herb for cold sores, which typically, you can also actually use that to flush out your body, okay? You can also swallow a raw clove of garlic. You might need to cut it in half if it's too large. Bite down once to release the allicin, then swallow with water like a pill. Okay, you can actually also shout out Dr. Ellen Bay. He talked about, I think it was 10 garlic cloves you can boil in water, and you can drink that as well as a tonic to cleanse out your body and to boost your immune system. Astragalus root, another powerful antiviral herb, has been used in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries, and its main use is to boost the body's immune system. Scientific studies have shown that astragalus has antiviral properties and stimulates the immune system, suggesting that it may help remedy the common cold or flu. And with this coronavirus, they're talking about people having flu and cold symptoms. It's one of the most effective antiviral herbs. For HSV, a 2004 study evaluated the effects of astragalus on herpes simplex virus type 1 and found that the herb has obvious inhibiting efficacy. And then it says another study published in the Chinese Medical Sciences Journal concluded that astragalus is able to inhibit the growth of Coxsackie B virus in mice. Not only does it work as a natural viral infection treatment, but astragalus also has antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties, and it is used on the skin for wound care. It's also one of the adaptogen herbs to lower cortisol. This is a biggie. I read all that really for this. I talked about in my previous video how when you are highly stressed, the body creates extra cortisol, and cortisol is to help put you at alert. It's the survival mode. It's the fight or flight. So when your body is producing way too much cortisol, it actually causes for imbalances in your other organs, all right? And it also causes for you to be deal with insomnia and things of that nature because your body's constantly going, you can't sleep. So in order to balance that, astragalus root is one of those things you can actually utilize to help lower your cortisol levels and get yourself back in balance, which will actually help your kidneys, your pancreas, your liver, and also help your immune system, because you're not in constant panic mode all the time, all right? Pandemic panic mode. You don't want to be in panic mode, all right? Now, cat's claw is another one. The bark and root of cat's claw have been used by South Americans for centuries to treat health problems, including fevers, stomach ulcers, digestive conditions, and dysentery. Cat's claw is used as a natural arthritis remedy and may treat ulcer symptoms as well. And when you're stressing and all that, you actually can cause ulcers in your stomach as well. So cat's claw has antiviral properties and it can help get rid of herpes. Early studies are researching its effects on HIV as well. This powerful herb is also anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and antifungal. It's used to treat digestive problems such as ulcers, irritable bowel syndrome, colitis, and leaky gut syndrome. The best way to consume cat's claw is by making an herbal tea with a tablespoon of herb and 8 ounces of water. So again, a lot of these things, actually all these things, you can get the plant version of it and you can boil it and you can make a tea out of it. And the last one, I think maybe oh no, it's not the last one. Sheesh, how many did I have? Number 6, we're just going to go with the flow. Licorice root. Licorice root is emerging as a prominent player in the search for treatment and prevention of diseases such as hepatitis C, HIV, and influenza. And it's very interesting that they have these 3 grouped together. So that should tell you something that is dealing, basically, this is an immune system issue, those 3 things. So the Chinese Journal of Virology published a review that confirms the antiviral activity of licorice root due to its triterpenoid content. And tri means 3. Another 2010 publication notes licorice's antioxidant, free radical scavenging, and immunostimulating effect. So it stimulates your immune system. Some more licorice root benefits include sore throat remedy for fast relief, cough natural remedy, protection against leaky gut signs and symptoms, so dealing with your diarrhea, reduce adrenal fatigue. Again, overproduction of cortisol and pain relief. Olive leaf. The olive leaf has antiviral properties, giving it the ability to treat the common cold and dangerous viruses, including candida symptoms, meningitis, pneumonia, chronic fatigue syndrome, hepatitis B, malaria, gonorrhea, and tuberculosis. It also treats dental, ear, and urinary tract infections, and is a natural treatment for shingles. Research shows that olive leaf extracts effectively fight against a number of disease-causing microbes, including some viruses that cause influenza and respiratory infections. The powerful compounds found in olive leaves destroy invading organisms and don't allow viruses to replicate and cause an infection. So it stops the replication of viruses. All right. In fact, the olive leaf is so beneficial to our health that treatment with olive leaf extracts reversed many HIV-1 infection associated changes in a study done at the New York University School of Medicine. Oregano. Oregano is a powerful antiviral agent. Medicinal grade oregano is distilled to extract the essential oil and preserve its healing compounds. In fact, it takes over 1,000 pounds of wild oregano to produce just 1 pound of oregano oil. Oregano oil benefits are proving to be superior to some antibiotics without the harmful side effects. That's because oregano contains 2 powerful compounds, that's carvacrol and thymol, that have powerful antibacterial and antifungal properties. And when I see thymol, I see thymus, and I see thyroid. All right, it's carvacrol. It's the carvacrol that reverses viral infections as well as allergies, tumors, parasites, and disease-causing inflammation. So again, all of these things can be made into an herbal or medicinal tea that you can drink. Okay, so now the next one I'm gonna give you are the top 10 immune boosting foods, and then I'm also gonna tell you another herb you can utilize for respiratory issues. When I get into the respiratory, I gotta remember that. So you can have citrus fruits, which have vitamin C, pineapples. Pineapple juice is very great. You can get a real pineapple, you can juice it, or you can get the Dole juice. Pumpkin seeds, berries, yogurt, wheatgrass, garlic, ginger, one of my all-time favorites. Turmeric, also a go-to, and it's made in a lot of curry dishes. So you can make some curry food with some turmeric. And then vegetables, of course, getting in your dose of greens. All right, greens helps flush out all of your systems. It helps flush out all of your chakras and balance your whole system. All right, and it's good for your blood. It helps you produce it helps your blood circulate properly. All right, which we know that your blood circulates oxygen, the proper oxygen to get to each one of your organs. All right, and then we want to talk about the respiratory system. People who are dealing with asthma and who need help with their lungs, you can use nettle. Nettle or stinging nettle is an anti-asthmatic. It relieves bronchial and asthmatic troubles. Tila helps with irritations of the lungs and bronchi, works well for bronchitis and asthma. And then star anise, I actually have some star anise in a bag. Where do I have it sitting? Oh, I moved it. Oh, here it is right here. And it smells delicious. It smells like licorice. This is my bag of star anise. I had already got it before this whole thing started to pop off. I just wanted to use it for spiritual purposes. but you can use it in cooking as well. Can you see it? Star anise. Star anise is useful in the treatment of asthma, bronchitis, and also dry cough. We have mullein. Mullein treats colds, coughs, sore throats, bronchitis, and tonsillitis, as well as asthma. And then we have burdock root, which burdock root helps treat respiratory tract conditions and ailments like asthma. Another one they don't have here is osha root. Osha root is definitely amazing when it comes to cleaning the mucus out of your lungs or the phlegm out of your lungs. You can also use ginger root for your lung health. I have a list of stuff. You can use eucalyptus, peppermint, lungwort, I can't even get out. Elecampane root, which is spelled Elecampane, licorice root, coltsfoot, cannabis, thyme, lobelia, Lobelia, that helps with your breathing by relaxing your airways. All right, and chaparral, as well as sage and plantain leaf. Those are some other things you can utilize for your lungs and for your respiratory health. All right. And this is a happy lung tea you can make. You can use wild cherry bark, mullein, guaco, dandelion root, and elderberry. So this gave you 4 other things that I didn't speak of that also help with your lung health. And I think that comes from Chinese, traditional Chinese medicine. Now, for those who smoke, so smoking, of course, can cause respiratory issues. There are herbs you can take in order to help you stop smoking, and also that will help flush out your lungs. All right, because we don't talk about how smoking impacts your respiratory system, therefore can compromise your respiratory system. Okay, so lobelia helps to calm the mind and relax the body. St. John's wort, and I have some St. John's wort, is known for promoting a positive mental attitude. Black cohosh relieves nervousness and anxiety. What I will say for black cohosh and some of these other ones and other herbs I might be calling out, I may not have mentioned, all of these herbs are not for pregnant women or women who are nursing. So you need to make sure, I know black cohosh is one of those for sure. You cannot take black cohosh, and I think St. John's wort as well, if you are trying to have a baby, or if you are currently nursing, or if you're pregnant. Those are 2 you want to stay away from, all right? Because black cohosh can actually cause you to have a miscarriage or go into early labor. Now, skullcap contains plant compounds that help the brain produce more endorphins. Hyssop helps with clearing mucus, congestion in the lungs associated with COPD. Catnip has a soothing and relaxing effect on the digestive system. And we normally only think about that giving it to our cats, but it also is beneficial for humans. Korean ginseng, stimulating energy and helping the body to deal with stress, which is very important right now. Ginseng, because they want your stress levels to be high. So you can make teas with ginseng in it, all right? Korean ginseng, they're speaking on this one to be more specific, but you can also utilize ginseng for help with stress levels, as well as valerian root. One of my favorites, okay, one of my all-time favorites. Also, kava kava is not on this list. Kava kava helps with stress levels as well, and it helps you sleep. Blue vervain is a natural tranquilizer, okay. Oat straw or oat seed, one of the best remedies for stress, nervous debility, and exhaustion. And then there's peppermint that helps alleviate feelings of nausea. All right. So these are some things that you can utilize to help you to stop smoking, because these are some of the symptoms that you deal with because you're really anxious when you're getting off of anything, not just smoking, but when you're quitting any addiction. You know, you need to be able to relax your mind and your body. You also need to be able to have a positive mindset. You need to be able to deal with anxiety and nervousness that comes from the withdrawal effects that you're going through. You're going through withdrawal. You need your brain to produce more endorphins in order to help you stay, happy and joyous and things. And you also need to deal with clearing out the mucus that has built up in your lungs. Catnip is another thing that's going to relax your digestive system so that you're able to process your food properly, and also so that you can want to eat, all right? And then Korean ginseng is another stress reliever, and it also helps stimulate your energy and boosting your energy levels. Blue vervain is a natural tranquilizer, so it can also help balance and bring you down, calm you down. And then you have something for stress, nervousness, and exhaustion, and alleviate any nausea you may feel if we're coming off that. So I definitely wanted to share this last one because, like I said, I was talking about respiratory issues, and we don't talk about how a lot of respiratory issues are due to people who have been smoking for years and smoking nicotine for years and tobacco for years. All right. So just some things I want to share with you guys, some ways that you can definitely help get yourself together and balancing your body. But also not forget that my other role and duty is the Holistic Energy Alchemist, which my business is Heal Soul. And Heal Soul is in the business of healing. It's in the business of holistic healing and getting, I'm fixing my camera, y'all, because it's a little blurry when I came out of the share screen. But Heal Soul is in the business of healing people holistically, and that's healing spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Those 4 parts that make up the human. It's like dealing with the 4 directions, the 4 north, south, east, west, the 4 elements. Is dealing with the 4 seasons, your 4 seasons. All right, so and balancing those things. So that's what my business is all about, and I'm in the business of healing. This is a perfect time for you guys to actually get a Reiki session because you are closed in the house, and my Reiki sessions are done through distance Reiki healing. So I am sending you that life force energy through the ethers, through utilizing a modality that's been used for many years. It is a very ancient practice, all right, that was revived back with a Japanese, they like to call him a Buddhist or whatever of that nature, but I feel like people always want to categorize people, but I know that he did study Buddhism and other things of that nature. But I think his name is Yusei or Yusu. And I have to definitely big him up and shout him out and send love to him as an ascended master, because he helped bring this back into the knowledge. All right. So anywho's, it's an ancient practice that is utilized to balance your energy centers and also to be a catalyst to help you with healing your body, your energetic body, and your physical body, your emotional body. All right. So you definitely want to utilize it if that you are very serious about being holistic. You're very serious about wanting to just feel better, wanting to think better, wanting to, be able to be your best self in every aspect of your life. All right. So like I said, you can take the herbs and you can also utilize this Reiki to help boost that and help your body to heal itself at a faster rate. Okay. So you can book a consultation with me. You can DM me on my Instagram page for Heal Soul. All right. And you can also reach out to me and book your sessions by yourself. What will happen is you'll send me a request to book it through my Facebook page, which actually connects to my WhatsApp as well. And I have my WhatsApp information. So you have 3 avenues. You have my Heal Soul Instagram, you have my Heal Soul Facebook page, and you also have my Heal Soul WhatsApp page or WhatsApp information or contact information. So you can book a free consultation that is 15 whole minutes where we get to talk. We can talk through either, I would prefer WhatsApp, but we can also work out other ways to contact and speak with one another. Zoom is, which is what I'm utilizing right now, is another option. And we can have a conversation and I can explain to you how the distance Reiki session will work and what you need to do to prepare for that session beforehand. And then we can go from there and we can book your 30-minute session, whether you do 1 session, which is $44, whether you do 3 sessions, which is $133, and you get a pamphlet that tells you, gives you other techniques you can also utilize on top of the Reiki. So affirmations, crystals you can utilize, as well as different oils you can utilize to balance out your chakras. So it's a whole package, and it's also explaining your energy centers, how they work, the different emotions that are connected to those energy centers or those chakras, okay, which is your emotional instrument. All right. So I'll talk to you about that with the 15-minute session, and then we get into your 30-minute sessions, which is either $44 or $133. And then the last one is $222, where you do get 3 Reiki sessions, but you also get 3 consultations as well to go along with that, to do follow-ups with all 3 of those sessions, and then also do any recommend any other things that you might need, all right, to help you through that. So I am a certified Reiki healer. I am also a holistic healer in all aspects of healing. So definitely feel free to reach out to me so we can go ahead and get started on this journey of cleansing while you're in you're forced to go within. All right. And Brother Rich is utilizing the saying right now. You have to go in at this time. You have to, the only way out of this is going within. That's what he says. The only way out is going in. All right, going within. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for listening to this long video. I know my last 2 videos were very lengthy, but I definitely want to make sure that I gave you guys information that's beneficial. I'm also going to do a quick post on my Instagram with some of this information, but to get the detailed information, for those who stuck through this video and the video before, you got a lot of the meat and potatoes. You got the real gems that I was giving out in order for you to help yourself as well. Like, you know, so thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Sending you much love. Take care of yourself, and love each other. Peace, y'all.